Let's continue with what we are discussing. When we talk about God's qualification for giving this instruction or constitution to the people of the Jewish nation and telling them, "You shall have no other God before me," we are talking about how He delivered them from oppression. Freedom has a price, and everyone clamors to be free. No one enjoys slavery. But this nation found themselves as slaves in the hand of the Jewish nation that happens to be the world power. Permit me to take your mind back to what led to that brutal governmental policies against them. If you look at that Exodus chapter number 1, verse number 7, it said, "But the Israelites were exceedingly fruitful. They multiplied greatly, increased in numbers, and became so numerous that the land was filled with them." There is no place it was mentioned here that they were all murderers, bandits, kidnappers, that they were causing mayhem in the society. No. It is just because they were successful, they were increasing, they were fruitful, and they were multiplying in numerical strength. That is why it is not a news when one is complaining that people around him or her hated him or her. Success attracts hatred. Success attracts envy. There is nothing strange when you are being hated, when you are being envied just because you are successful. Even today, in Africa continent, there are people that are being treated as second-class citizens just because they are successful. Look at the description given to the impact of the Jewish nation in the land of Egypt. Look at verse number 10. It says, "Come, we must deal shrewdly with them, or they will become even more numerous. And if war breaks out, we join our enemies, fight against us, and leave the country." This is what we call the fear of the unknown. The people of the Jews at this juncture were suffering for what they don't even know. Just because the Pharaoh then happened to develop unfounded fear that in case war breaks out, these people will be against them. Let me ask this question. If Pharaoh has been treating these people well, would there be any room for them to work against him in the place of war? One of the problems we, the black people, have is that we have forgotten that there is no free loyalty. We want people to be loyal to us, but we don't want to pay the price for them to be loyal to us. Today, in the way we exercise the art of governance, is always oppression and suppression. Why not be good to the people? They will just reciprocate by being loyal to you. If I were the Pharaoh of Egypt at this juncture, having seen that they are multiplying and they are successful, I will just start treating them very well so that they will be very happy with me. Coup is a product of bad governance oftentimes. Therefore, why being afraid of them? Same is still happening in Africa today. At this juncture, the Jewish nation are nation builders. The art of nation building is ascribed to them. And permit me to say, anyone whose the hand of God is upon his or her life would always manifest in the midst of troubles. the more these people are being oppressed, the more they are multiplying. It is always good to be good. But the fearful thing in this development is that as they were being hated by the government of the day, there is no place they can run to get justice. That is to say, they were being oppressed and nobody to come to their rescue. That was the true state of the nation of the Jews in Egypt. They were crying, they were shouting, nobody could come to their rescue. In summary of what happened, he said in Exodus chapter 2 verse 23, during that long period, the king of Egypt died. The Israelites groaned in their slavery and cried out, and their cry for help because of their slavery went up to God. It was at this juncture that the Bible said in verse 24, God heard their groaning, and he remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked on the Israelites and was concerned about them. By strength shall no man prevail. They are crying, but nobody to help, until their groaning reached to the greater power, the power that is greater than the government. And that is why I keep saying this. If you find yourself in the art of governance, don't think you have become God. You are answerable to a superior being. No government is greater than God who created the universe. Pharaoh didn't know that, but as the thing started, as the event started unfolding, he came to know that. Permit me to say that it was this God that came and delivered them when no other person could deliver them. Little wonder he said, you shall have no other God before me. Call me Pastor Elisha, the rising voice in Africa and the reformer with a difference.